Hi, I'm Andy Lawlor. The MAP program is truly the jewel in the crown of Michigan's program of action-based learning. Every year, Michigan MBAs take the valuable training they've gotten in the core and put it into practice in real-world situations, learning in the process the value of teamwork. But sometimes team cohesion frays. On today's show, we're going to see what happens when maps go bad. Our first guest, Gus, has the makings of a great manager, but a ne'er-do-well friend from his checkered past may have sent his dreams for the future up in smoke. Gus, your map team's final report is due today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And is there any part of it that you're responsible for?
Well, I mean, everybody helps out on everything pretty much, but we all, each of us got something that, we gotta kind of take ownership of.
I see, Gus. And what were you supposed to take ownership of?
Well, there was some financial modeling that was supposed to go at the end of the report. Like with graphs and stuff.
And did you take ownership of those financial models?
I guess so.
It's a yes or no question, Gus. Are the financial models done?
I'm still working on them.
Gus, isn't your final map report due? Shouldn't you have done them last night at the latest?
Yeah, I was fixing to do them, but something came up. See, I got this visit from my buddy Earl, and
a friend of yours from the business school?
A friend of mine from high school. And anyway, he was like, "Hey, you want to go get fucked up?" And I was like, "Oh man, I got this thing I got to do for business school." And then he's like, "Hey, you want to go find some hookers?" And I'm like, "Oh man, seriously, I got this thing I got to do for business school. I'm gonna be up all night doing it." And then he was like, "Well, hey man, if you're gonna be up all night, you should take some of this." And he gave me some crank, and then he was
Wait. Gus, did you just say crank as in crystal methamphetamine?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was.
Your map report is due and you're doing crystal meth?
Well, I was just doing it to stay awake, because I knew the modeling was gonna take so long. But then it just got way out of hand.
It sounds like it did, Gus. Gus, I'd say this is one projection of yours where you miscalculated horribly. What I worry about most is how your map partners are going to react to this.
I ain't told them yet. I'm real embarrassed.
Well, you don't need to tell Menachem because he already knows.
You told Menachem?
No, Gus, you did. He's been backstage watching this whole time. Our next guest, Menachem, is one of Gus's map partners. He plans to work for JP Morgan in New York this summer, working in international project finance with an emphasis in emerging markets. When he arrived at our studios, he didn't know that Gus had failed to do the financial models that go into his final report. But he certainly knows now. Ladies and gentlemen, Menachem! Now, Menachem, it sounds like you have some things you want to say to Gus.
Yes, I have some things I'd like to say. I love this country. I come to America because I hear America best place to learn management. You want to be a manager? You want to study finance? Be investment banker? You come to America. So I come, and what happens? I get this stupid motherfucker right here! You can't do his part of the project for map because he's out doing crystal meth! You all stupid motherfuckers!
Wow. Strong words from Monaco. Do we have any questions from the audience?
I have a question. This was for Gus. In what time interval did you determine your additional product investment would pay back? And by the way, you're a punk-ass bitch and I feel sorry for your mama.
You better be careful. I'm still feeling some of the crank. Got the strength of 10 men. I could pull your goddamn head off. And by the way, the payback interval we got was 2 years and 4 months. Motherfucker.
All right, that's about all the time we have for these guests. Our next guests are Greg and Tammy. They've been working very closely on MAP together for all of B term. Tammy is responsible for some regression analysis that goes in their final report. Greg says he doesn't trust Tammy to do the regression analysis on her own. Greg says he doesn't think that Tammy's data is his. Well, Greg, our team of statistical experts reverse engineered the calculations in Tammy's regression analysis. And we've determined it's not your data.
Oh, hell no! So why you gonna done that, woman?
Okay, it's true. It ain't your data. But I had to do what I did. Good to you. Couldn't give me what I needed. Your sample size was just too small. Enough to get me to where I need to be going. That's what I'm talking about.
Says you. Well, maybe, just maybe, the problem was that you didn't know what to do with my sample. You know the regression I told you I done myself? Woman on another map project done that.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
I know you did!
While Tammy conveys her feelings on that subject, let's bring out Brandy, the enterprising young lady who did those other regressions.
Bitch, I'll kill you! I'll kill you, bitch!
Not if you die first, bitch!
Craziest women in this business school.
Well, folks, the things we've seen today might seem outlandish, but they can happen in any map group, even yours. Because map isn't just about writing a 45-page final report that some company reads only once. And then only because they have to. No. Map above all is about precious but sometimes fragile relationships that are based on trust. When that trust is squandered, whether it's because someone's gone on a bender when their group needs them the most, or because someone's gotten a little too independent with their variables, bad things happen. And that's when maps go bad. Until next time, I'm Andy Lawlor.